Okay, so here I'm going to explain and just really lay out what harmony is, and we really give a chance to look at the nuts and bolts of harmony, so we just kind of understand what's going on, you know, how it is, why it is that these harmony parts fit together. As you know, we've so far been studying, you know, style of singing and, you know, these great lines, you know, from the duet tradition, and we're going to continue doing that. But I want to kind of give you the behind-the-scenes look, so you really know what's going on, and can start to hear this stuff a lot more clearly on your own. Now, I remind you that the ear training exercise we just learned with the triads going up the single string, like 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 2, 4, 6, 4, 2. And that's super important. So if you haven't really wrapped your mind around that one and gotten comfortable singing through triads in the scale and naming all those notes and numbers, spend a little bit more time getting comfortable with that, because that's really going to be the foundation for what we're about to work on, and the gateway into just a whole new level of understanding of harmony. So, so we're going to, you know, be exploring basically how the harmony parts relate to the chords of a song and also to the melody. Now, as I mentioned, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. When you do the 1 triad, those are the notes that make up the 1 chord. So you got the 1, the 3, and the 5. Those are all in there. No matter where you strum, you know, a given chord, you know, on your instrument, you're going to have a bunch of different places you can strum a given chord. But what makes them all the same chord is that they're made up of those same 3 notes: 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Now, when you go to the 4 chord, now I'm in the key of G right now, so the 1, 2, 3, 4 is C, the key of C. Now the notes that make up that chord are the 4, the 6, and the 1 of the scale. So in this key, anytime you strum a C chord in whatever form on your instrument, it's just going to be made up of the 4, the 6, and the 1. And then in the 5 chord, you've got the 5, the 7, and the 2, or 5, 7, and the 2 in the lower octave. Anyhow, so those 3 chords are the chords that are found in most of our songs. And we're going to get into variations because they do happen. But the 1, the 4, and the 5 chords, those are our bread and butter. And so we really want to start our exploration of harmony, understanding what those chords do, because they're going to come up over and over again. So how this works is that the harmony note is usually just 1 chord tone away from the melody, and in respect to whatever chord you're in. So if there's a 1 chord in the background, see the melody, first of all, the melody is going to spend a lot of time when you're on the 1 chord. You're going to get a lot of 1s, 3s, and 5s in the melody because those are the chord tones. I'm going to play you a recording here with me singing each note of the chord, and then I'm going to sing the next note up the chord. So basically, if the melody is on a 1 note, the next harmony note up is the next note up the chord, so it would be the 3. And if the melody is on the 3, the next harmony note up would be the 5. And then if the melody is on the 5, then the next harmony note would be the 1 in the higher octave. So let's hear what those sound like. I'm gonna play these chords here. So starting within the 1 triad. You can try to sing along at home. 1, 3, 5, 1. So you can hear how those notes fit together, and they just make sense for the chord. Now, if you had 3-part harmony, you would just add, you know, the 3rd note, you know, whatever the remaining note of the triad is, above or below. Okay, so when we go into the 4 chord, so the notes of the 4 chord again are 4, 6, and 1. And it works the same way. So when the 4th chord is in the background, the melody is going to spend a lot of time on the 4, the 6, and the 1 of the scale. Now, if the melody is on the 4, the harmony note, the next harmony note above would be the 6. Now, if the melody's on the 6, the next harmony note up would be the 1. It's the next note up that triad. If the melody's on the 1, the next harmony note is the 4 above that. So let's hear the notes of the 4 triad. And again, I'll sing the next note above what's on the recording. 4, 6, 1, 4. That's way up there for me, but you can hear how those notes harmonize. Okay, so going into the 5 triad, it would be the key of G here, we're talking a D chord. The notes that make up that chord from the scale are the 5, the 7, and the 2. Now I'm going to have these notes in the lower octave 5, 7, 2, because you could hear it was already getting up at the top of my range. So let's hear the low 5, 7, 2, and I'm going to sing the next note above. 5, 7, 2, 5. So those are your main harmonizing notes, and so that's what's generally going to happen just as a default, like when you have a lead melody and then the tenor harmony right above it. So when you're talking about close harmony is when the tenor part would be just generally 1 chord tone above the melody. You know, so whatever, you know, whether you're in the 1 chord, the 4 chord, or the 5 chord, or some other chord in the key, it's just the next chord tone up. So, but just hearing just the chord tones by themselves and finding the next one up is a great way of practicing that and then just kind of preparing yourself to kind of know in advance what that next note is likely to be.